Ratios and percents. Lesson 6, understanding percents. Lesson objective is to model percents and to write percents using equivalent ratios. We have the one vocabulary word, which is a percent. A percent is a ratio that compares a number to 100. It's important to know percents are out of 100, compares to 100. So for example, 36 to 100, this is a ratio, is equivalent to 36%. This symbol right here is the percent symbol, and we will be using that when we're asked to write percents. This will go directly behind our value. Please feel free to use your smart device to scan here if you would like to watch the virtual nerd video for help. Down below here we have in our box steps on how to change a ratio to a percent. It's got arrows drawing your attention if you want to put stars or highlight the box or whatever. Again, if you need help, hopefully that will draw your attention to come back to this box for that. In order to change a ratio to a percent, what we're going to do is we're going to create the equivalent ratios with the denominator of 100, and then we're going to write the ratio as a percent. So for example, we have 3 to 5. This is in fraction form, and they're asking us 3 to 5 is what percent? So we take 3 to 5, here's our 3 to 5, and we make that equivalent to something over 100. Well, I know that 5 times 20 gives us 100, so we take 3 times 20, which gives us 60. So that value would be 60 over 100, which is 60%. Before we get to that, we're going to practice, though, looking at some shaded figures and writing the percent that is represented here. Now, if you count, you have a 10 by 10 box here. So a 10 by 10 box equals 100 boxes. So there is our out of 100. That's for all 3 of these problems. So in order to find out what our percentage of each shaded figure is, we count how many boxes are shaded. Here we have 10, 20, and 30. So we have 30 out of 100 of the boxes total is shaded for a total of 30%. Here on number 2, again, a 10 by 10, so a total of 100 boxes. When you count these boxes up, we have a total of 40 boxes that are shaded. So we have a total of 40 out of 100, which is equivalent to 40%. Pause the video, take a couple minutes, and write the percent for the shaded figure here on number 3. Let's take a look at some boxes that are not 100 out of 100. Here on number 4, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have a 1 by 10. So we have a total of 10 boxes. They want to know what's the percent shaded. So if we count, we have 4 out of 10 shaded. Now 4 out of 10 is not out of 100, so we cannot say this is 4%. What we need to do is, remember they said to write that ratio equivalent to 100. So we're going to take it equivalent to 100 and ask ourselves, what is it out of 100? I know that 10 times 10 gives us 100. So what is 4 times 10? 4 times 10 is 40. Therefore, 4 out of the 10 boxes shaded is equivalent to 40 out of 100, which is 40%. When we look at number 5, we have a total of 20 boxes, 10 here on the left and 10 on the right. So we have 2 rows of 10, so we have 10 boxes. Or, excuse me, 10 boxes, 20 boxes. When we count how many is shaded here, we have a total of 13 out of the 20 are shaded. Again, this is not out of 100, so we have to make it equivalent to 100. And we need to ask ourselves 20 times what gives us 100? That would be times 5. So 13 times 5 would be a total of 65. So 13 out of 20 is equivalent to 65 out of 100, which is 65%. So 65% of this diagram is shaded. I want you to pause the video, take a few minutes here, and answer number 6. Now down below here in 7 through 12, we're simply asked to write these ratios as a percent. So we're not looking at any shaded parts or anything. They already give us the value, and we need to find the percent. And remember, a percent is out of 100. Okay? So if we're looking here at number 7, we have the ratio 3 to 5, and we want to know what that is equivalent to 100. When we look at this, 5 can go into 100, so we ask ourselves 5 times what's 100, which is 20. So then we do the same to the top value, 3 times 20, and that gives us 60. So 3 to 5 is equivalent to 60%. When we look at number 8, we have 17 out of 100. Well, here this is already out of 100, so we don't have to make it equivalent to anything. Anything out of 100 is a percent, so 17 out of 100 is 17%. Looking here at number 9, we have 18 out of 25. Again, we need to change this to a percent, so it needs to be out of 100. So what is it out of 100? We know that 25 times 4 is 100. So what is 18 times 4? And 18 times 4, let's see, is 72. So 18 25ths, 18 out of 25 is 72%. And we circle that. I want you to take a couple minutes, pause the video, and change 10 through 12 into percents. Now, there are no more examples, but I do want to give you an example of something that was not here in our notes. What if we had the ratio of something like 5 to 8, and we needed to find the percentage? Well, a percent is still out of 100, and we want to find out that value. Well, here, 8 does not go into 100 evenly, so therefore we can't look at it as equivalent ratios by multiplying or dividing. So when you have one like this that does not go into 100 evenly, or your bottom portion or your second part of the ratio, then we need to look at that as proportionally and cross multiply what we know. So we have 5 times 100, divide by what's opposite the variable, divide by 8, and find that missing value. So 5 times 100 is 500, and divide it by 8 gives us 62.5. So our value here would be 62.5, so x would equal 62.5, and that would be out of 100, which then means this would be 62.5%. So if, like the above 6 problems, your bottom portion or your second part of your ratio does not go into 100 evenly, where you can use multiplication or division to find that equivalent, then you can use cross products, solve it proportionally.